World War II is widely recognized for the participation of men, but did you know that women actually served in the Soviet Union during World War II in the Army? In fact, Soviet Union is the only country to have women serve in the military during World War II. Can you imagine a world where women serving in combat is seen as shocking? I have done immense research on this topic, including multiple websites, journals, and books. In fact, I'm taking a World War II class in which we discuss this topic. Women served in many vital and infamous roles during World War II, forever changing the perception of women. Today, I will first discuss with you the overall participation of women in the Soviet Army, and then I will talk to you about Soviet women snipers, including Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Now, I will talk to you about the overall participation of women in the Soviet Union Army. In 1941, according to Everyday Life, all women without children were required to join the Soviet Army. 800,000 women joined the front lines, with 70% of women serving in the front lines alongside men in combat. At first, women who offered their services were rejected, according to Pennington in 2010. The first roles offered to women were as medics and drivers. In 1943, women participated in roles from medical to combat positions. 250,000 women served in the front lines, primarily from March 1942 to January 1943, when the Soviet Union started accepting women in all roles. Roles of women included about 100,000 women serving in aircraft personnel divisions, 600,000 serving in mortar positions, and 15,000 serving as 15,000 women serving in submachine roles. However, the majority served in battery, subunit, and crew personnel. By 1945, 246,530 women were estimated to participate in the front lines, with 220,000 to 22,000 women participating in Soviet Army groups, with 10 to 15 Soviet Army groups in during each part of the war. Non-combatant front line roles for Soviet Union ranged from telephone operators to anti-aircraft guns to drivers to medics. Now that I've talked to you about the overall participation of women in the Army, I will now talk to you about the role of women snipers, including Lyudmila Pavlichenko. So there were 100,000 snipers, according to Pennington, women Soviet snipers during World War II. The 3rd Shock Division, the 3rd Shock Army specifically, was a widely recognized Soviet division, with an estimated of 3,111 kills of German soldiers. The Central Women's School for Sniper Training was a suggested school in which women would receive special training for sniping roles. Women were more easily accepted into these roles than they were into any other roles during the war. Now, one of the most infamous woman snipers is known as Lyudmila Pavlichenko. At the age of 24, after Germany had invaded the Soviet Union, according to Gentry in 2021, Palvichenko volunteered her services to join the Soviet Infantry Division. She was added to the 25th Rifle Division in the Soviet Red Army. She served as one out of 200,000 women in the Soviet Union Army. By May of 1942, she had an estimated 257 kills. As her kills intensified, she was sent on more intense missions, such as dueling enemy gunners. In June of 1942, Palvichenko was injured by a mortar round, so the Soviet army removed her from the front combat lines as she was seen as too valuable. By the end of her service, she had an estimated 309 kills, earning her the name the Lady of Death. In summary, women served in vital and infamous roles during World War II, forever changing the perception of women. Today, I have discussed with you, first, the overall participation of women in World War II in the Soviet Union, and then I discussed with you the specific role of women snipers. So ladies, we truly owe our admiration to these brave women for overcoming oppression and becoming an inspiration to us all.